the first phrase you need to know, which is hajimemashite. Hajimemashite, which basically means nice to meet you, right?
Please repeat.
Hajimemashite.
And again.
And yeah, I would say I would use that pretty much every time I'd meet someone new, wouldn't you?
Probably the first time, especially if you're introduced to somebody or something. But I mean, would you walk up to just somebody at the bar or something and tap them and say hajimemashite?
If it was the first time, like
yeah.
a random person.
Yeah.
After I ask their name, yeah. Like, what's your name?
So name first,
yeah.
then hajimemashite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you would ask them their name first.
Oh, age, sleeping habits, name, hajimashite.
Boyfriend, yes or no? Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the situation. Yeah. Oh, by the way, hajimemashite. Actually, that's a good point though, because it can actually be pretty humorous or funny if you kind of put the proper thing you should be saying at the very end of what you're saying. Yeah.
But no, I think I use it about hajimashite. Nice to meet you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
what's your name?
Yeah,
Oname wa?
especially when you're getting introduced to somebody. So yeah, I guess it depends on the situation. If you're getting introduced to somebody at work, or if you're just trying to approach somebody at the bar or something, or if you're just like trying to ask somebody what time it is. I don't know if you would say hajimemashite.
No.
Yeah.
I think hajimashite for me it just comes after the what's your name or something else. I guess. Yeah.
So she kind of went the opposite. She said hajimemashite, and then she asked namae wa. Nan desu ka? Yeah. And then she kind of left out pretty normal, important phrase. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, actually, I wouldn't even say that first. I'd say, hey, Genki. Like,
exactly.
How are you?
Yeah, if you're just trying to, like...
as you would in English, hey, how are you?
Yeah.
Hey.
But would you say that to someone you've met for the first time?
It depends. Okay, in a bar situation, yes, I would say, hey, Genki. Genki desu ka? Or, having a good time. At a job. Genki? No, I'd say hajimashite. Yeah.
Matto desu.
Yeah. So it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
Casual, Genki, job situation, or formal situation.
Right.
I'd say hajimashite first.
Yeah.
Genki I'd probably use only for people I'd met already, someone I knew. But even then, like, Japanese people don't really use it. I've noticed. They never say that to me. Like, oh, Genki.
Yeah, if you haven't seen him in person in a while, they might ask, like, Genki datta? Like, have you been okay and stuff? But yeah, they don't
really use it.
Yeah.
They don't really use, like, how are you? Like we always use it, but we don't really want to know how they're doing. It's just a greeting for us.
Yeah.
But for Japanese, they don't really kind of have that greeting when they see their friends.
But it would be important, like you said, in the bar situation.
It's an icebreaker. Right?
Yeah, and especially if they're like, no, I'm not Genki, then you'd be like, okay, on to the next one. On to the next person.
Genki's your night.
But what in a work situation, she didn't mention this, but there's a very important phrase or sentence that you would say at the very end of the initial greeting in a work situation. What is that?
Yoroshiku onegai shimasu.
Exactly.
Yoroshiku
onegai
So you'd
tashimasu.
use that at the end of the beginning of the greeting.
The end of the beginning of the middle of the start of the front of the back. Yeah, the end of the introduction, I would say. Yeah. Hajimemashite.
All right, okay.
Pota tomoshimasu, or pota desu.
First time meeting at work situation.
Yoroshiku onegai itashimasu. Yeah.
It's like we are going to be working together, so let's gambaro.
Yoroshiku onegai shimasu is very, very useful in work situations, right?
Definitely is, yeah.
So what's the order here? In a work situation, hajimashite, what's your name, and yoroshiku?
Onegaishimasu.
Onegaishimasu.
Yeah. Then she moved on to, well, again, what was your name? She said there's obviously a formal way and an informal way. You were just saying, like, namae wa nan desu ka?
Omae wa dare?
Omae wa dare desho? Dare yaro, omae?
That's a rude way of asking.
Who the hell are you?
Right? Who the hell are you?
That should usually be followed up with a punch or something else. Kick to the liver, stomach. Yeah.
Who do you think you are?
Or if you want to make it formal, like work situation, you add the O. Onamae.
Omae wa dare?
Continue, Burke.
Yeah. So, well, and then obviously, she's got formal ways to end. Instead of using des, you can use tomoshimasu for introducing yourself. Pota tomoshimasu.
I've never used that before. I don't think.
Every day you learn something new.
Thank you.
There you go.
Have you guys? Do you use that? Or more, what is it?
Yeah, in a work situation.
Right.
Yeah, or formal situation, not in a casual way.
Yeah.
I just say bendes.
Yeah. Or
Bender.
on like telephone calls, use it a lot. Yeah. Or I would say at work, like getting introduced during like a with the supplier or somebody in kind of like a business meeting.
Yeah, but you've done more business work
in Japanese
than Ben and I guess.
Yeah, if you said that in the bar to a girl, it might not be right.
A
little too stiff.
Yeah, a bit weird. She wouldn't want to probably continue talking to you.
Unless you're trying to play that role of the like being goofy by trying to use super polite Japanese.
If you use super polite English, Japanese at a bar to a guy or a girl, they think it'd be funny, and hilarious. Like, wow! Or they'd be really impressed how good your Japanese is.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any lose situation with whatever style you want to use.
There's only one way to know. We're going to have to go out and do some research to find out.
All right. We've got about half a century between the three of us.
Exactly. How about this next thing? She kind of started to, finding out how you should call a person, because in Japanese, obviously, or in Japan, a lot of people just, especially in work situations, will introduce themselves by their last name,
exactly right.
Or their surname, right? So, how would you ask somebody, how do they want to actually be called, or what can you call them, or something?
When you say like, 本当の名前は?
What's your real name?
Not that stupid last name stuff. What's your real name? Yeah. Well, she suggested obviously something a little bit formal again, because you want to learn the formal stuff first, arguably. She said, "Nante yobeba ii desu ka?" Or "Nante yobeba." Or,
what do you want to be called?
Yeah.
Right.
Can you say that again a bit slowly, Burke?
Nante yobeba ii desu ka?
Nante yobeba ii desu ka?
Although
I've never used that.
No,
have you used that Burke before?
No.
So that's pretty formal, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't usually use it, I would say, no. And in fact, like in a work situation, there's probably no reason you need to ask somebody's lower name. You'll probably come across as a very foreign guy if you do that and stuff. Right. But obviously, like, if you're getting drinks with somebody, been drinking with them a little bit, and then, you want to ask them what their first name is or something,
So at work, you wouldn't ask that question to a coworker you've met for the first time in a formal situation?
Probably not when we just first met, but maybe if we start working together, or if you hear other people calling that person by some other name or nickname, then would probably use that or something.
I've got a great little life hack for when you forget somebody's name. You go, what's the kanji for your name? And then they write out the kanji. I'm like, how do you say that one? So there you go.
You don't use the old just call them by some silly foreign name. Hey, Billy, and then they're like, oh, American joke.
In English, you go, what's your name again? There you go, blah blah blah. Yeah, I know that. I meant your last name.
There you go. But she did bring up a good point here. They, kind of a casual or informal way to ask someone's first name is asking them like, "Shita no namae wa nan desu ka?" Shita.
Shita means low, right?
Yeah, or bottom name, because in old style Japanese, they had the last name up top and the